of inspiring me. But I thank you so much for your inspiration. Okay, so 4 months ago, there was a video that I made a comment on. All right. And today, someone responded, and I want to read this whole exchange from start to end because it's very important. This one is specifically for the Black community. Not trying to leave anyone out, but there is a hair, hair. It's a conversation about hair. Okay, you wouldn't get it. Sorry, it's not to exclude you. You're just not included. Okay, so his video, the title is "Ladies, if men could learn to love you without," and then in the video he said, if men could learn to love you in your natural state, without your lashes, without your nails, without your wigs and weave, would you be willing to go natural? And my response to that was, it has nothing to do with the man. Can I love me without? The answer is yes. I don't give a fuck who doesn't rock with that. And his response to that, which is very telling about the lack of awareness in regards to women's struggle, okay, which will go on to reveal. But okay, would it be wrong to say that I find that hard to believe that it has nothing to do with men? I said yes. Are there women out there that perhaps have been persuaded to go more natural in an attempt to woo a man? Absolutely. But understand that it is unhealthy. And depending on the dynamic, can be a form of emotional rape when a person is persuaded to change their appearance to fit another's expectations and preference. That's why the Crown Act was signed this year, by the way. But anyway, I highly suggest you choose someone that is already on that path rather than persuade a woman to change. I will tell you how it started for me. I found out I was having a little girl, and I realized I didn't know the first thing about taking care of my hair. How would I take care of hers? And just to give you a little more background, so I actually had natural hair for 3 years. And then when I got out of the psych ward in 2012, I relaxed my hair. And then when I found out I was pregnant with Natanya, I had cut my hair off for my birthday in 2013, and then I found out I was pregnant with Natanya. So that is how I came to, this process. So I learned on myself, but through the process, it turned into a beautiful experience of realizing how beautiful I was, learning patience with myself, and overcoming insecurities about my appearance in regards to my hair. I learned so many things about myself that I never would have. Second, I have very naturally long lashes. If I wear them, it's on a special occasion and is not a part of my routine. I've done very little in my life to appease any man when it comes to my appearance. I do what works for me. Don't get me wrong, I'll clean your house, cook for you, have a wonderful conversation, encourage you, and please you sexually. But you have to accept however I choose to present myself, and if you don't, that's fine. We just won't date, because that is not love. I'll also add, I wear my own natural nails as well, and that also was inspired by having a child. It is said to not wear nails for the first 2 years so the child can grow accustomed to your hands. I followed that, and I had been getting my nails done for so long, I actually was able to shape and do my own manicure, and I get so many compliments, people think they're artificial. Mind you, children were the motivating factor, but I kept going with it because I loved me. In this process, I fell in love with me, right? So that's how it should be. And you don't want the woman that answers yes to your question. Yeah, I apologize for the long-winded response. And he said, I just think maybe there's a deeper reason, because most Black men don't care about any of that stuff. Seems more about good attitude, nice face, bra size, butt size. Don't you think men think natural hair is better? And I said, no. I was made fun of when I first went natural. In fact, absolute strangers made the rudest comments. My daughter's father always had something to say as well. We weren't dating then, and his girlfriend at the time wore wigs and weave. I didn't really get a whole lot of compliments until I locked my hair. What I find is that a lot of men say they want a woman who is natural, but don't actually appreciate it. And oftentimes they only prefer natural because of the cost of upkeep for artificial looks. Most men don't have the kind of money women are dropping on their appearance, so why not just convince her to go natural? So, for the general collective of men, no, I do not think they prefer a natural woman because they like it or prefer it. It's a way of making women feel like their own preferences for how they look are what are keeping them from getting a man when it's really the man's pocket. As needy women have this expectation that a man inherits the bill on her looks. No shame. One should just be honest that they can't afford the upkeep and she'll either move on, bullet dodged, or be independent enough to at least maintain her own appearance. Now, there are some unicorns out there that really do enjoy a woman's natural hair, but even those men still have their own preferences on how it's styled. Like I just said, I didn't get a lot of compliments until I locked it. And I need to add, I am not unattractive in the slightest. So that's definitely a good gauge. A wash and go style, which is the natural, like the most natural style as it gets, didn't get love at all. They still prefer to see it styled a certain way, and they still expect extravagant styles of some sort. And that has to do with being conditioned not to like our natural appearance, and social media heavily programs us to see the people who are wearing artificial anyway, further upholding that conditioning. If you don't see it enough, it's hard to like it. It's happening to everyone, even white folk. So I can't blame anyone for being a little impartial to my hair or their own. All right, here's his response. I know this is it's going somewhere. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. Okay. He said, "Point taken. And sorry to hear that those things were done to you. Those men who tell their women to go natural just for him to save money and not for her to love and embrace her natural beauty is a problem right there." And I said, "Yeah, it is kind of, but I would say those men are still fewer than the men who don't actually like it. These men shout to the rooftops they want natural because they have been programmed to see women in artificial looks, but they follow the guy who claims it's his preference, yet is just trying to save his pockets. Um, they don't even realize what's actually going on. Does that make sense? I'll give you another example. Men claim they don't want to pay child support because women don't use it on the baby. Their support of that theory is because their homie has a drug addict whore of a baby mama that doesn't care for her child. So 100 men get behind him on why men shouldn't have to pay child support, when in reality, the mother is a good mother. He's just butthurt. There's a lot of that going on in 10,000 different ways that cause divide, okay? So my best advice is to never worry about what the next person is doing and what they prefer. Never try to convince anyone to do anything they aren't already doing. What's for you will always be facts, and you don't know what goes on behind the scenes with people and the narrative they're pushing that is formed in opinion, pain, or rejection. Opinions never trump facts. Detox your feed. If you have a whole bunch of women in your feed wearing wigs and have altered bodies, it alters how you see the world when you log off. Because these are the only women you digest on a daily, it might even be the root to why you haven't found a woman. There might be a woman in close proximity that you have not noticed because your feed has the opposite of what you're looking for. Therefore, when you go outside, that's all you notice. Start liking and commenting on natural women's pages to change your algorithm so you can get used to seeing them and maybe more easily find one if you truly believe that is your preference and you haven't just become a parrot repeating the rhetoric of the last guy. Lastly, nothing happened to me to apologize for. It happened for me so I could learn. I lack a degree I lack a degree, but I'm very much a scientist and I consider it a social study. Thank you for your time. He said to you as well. All right. So somebody came today and said, I see what you're saying, and everything you said proves that women would not wear fake wigs, fake eyelashes, etc. You have become insecure about how you look because the men around you have found your natural look unattractive. The only time you attracted men is when you wore fake things that make you look like another person. So my question is, why did you say no? If men found your natural look attractive, wouldn't you want to go natural? Also, do you have any proof that men don't find their ladies attractive but stay with them because they can't afford to buy them the things that make them look like another person? A link or an article or something? Or is this just your opinion from your own experiences? Hi, viewer. You view my channel, whoever you are, responding to my comment from 4 months ago. Okay. So, what? I have always attracted men regardless of what kind of style I was rocking. They just didn't like that particular feature. Made fun of a particular hairstyle, but they were still very much attracted to me. I'm natural, and that will never have anything to do with a man, but with loving myself and who I was born to be. You obviously didn't read anything and came here to put me down. Move around. I would highly suggest a reading comprehension tutor and that you refrain from putting words into my mouth. I cannot give you exact information, but there has been research done on the effects of social media and being pumped the false aesthetic that causes men and women to be less attracted to the normal and more common aesthetic. There's a channel that focuses on this type of research. I think it's called Cove Studio. Have a good day. And they came back and quoted me. You said I was made fun of when I first went natural. In fact, absolute strangers made the rudest comments. My daughter's father always had something to say as well. I didn't really get a whole lot of compliments until I locked my hair. When you said you locked your hair, I assumed you hid your real hair away. Maybe that was just the name of your hairstyle. Also, I meant the men who made fun of you. I'm sorry, I wasn't clear about that, so I could see how you misunderstood. It wasn't my intention to put you down, but the reason you go unnatural is because of those men's opinions of you. Am I wrong? Not on the topic. I already know about the effects of social media. I'm talking about the part where you said that men just stick with women, they are unattractive. But tell them they are attractive when they're natural because they can't afford to buy them things. Touche, motherfucker, but I still didn't say that. I didn't say that. So here's my response, and my response is very important. It might help like a little bit of the divide here. Okay, so myself saying I was made fun of is simply stating a fact. I had no effect on my self-esteem. Okay, it had no effect on my self-esteem. My hair is dreadlocked. That is still a natural style. And just so you know, I don't commonly use the term dreadlocked. I do not like that style or that word. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Mom.
I'm almost done. Don't speak. Yoop, yoop. Go back. I'm not ready yet. Give me a few more moments, okay? Yeah, be quiet though. I transitioned to this style because it requires less maintenance. I didn't have the time to put into my hair, but it was very, very beautiful in other natural styles before switching to this one. I also noted that my locks are more noticed and acceptable to men, but again, my hair has never been influenced by that. Prior to that, being unnatural still had little to do with men, everything to do with standards, and was primarily influenced by my mother. We lived in the suburbs. My mother wore wigs and nails, and most of the black girls in my school. My graduating had 15 black people. We all wore wigs and weave as well. Most of us. There was a few that didn't, but even then they still had relaxed hair. So that was acceptable and a part of assimilation. Consider that most women over 30, their own parents never actually saw them natural. that their hair was altered for most of their lives. My hair was relaxed from the age of 4. I wore my first weave at 15, and I've been working up to it with other types of extensions starting at age 9. All right. My looks never relied on attracting men, but assimilation to European standard to get along without ridicule in a white community. A lot of men think women do this for them. No, most of us were programmed to alter our appearance well before the ages of attraction. Where were the boys at 4, 9, 15? They were getting the same message on a different spectrum. It is not that men find women unattractive, it's the hair and the standards and programming surrounding it. They tell them they prefer women wear their natural hair, but their entire social media timeline is women who don't. Therefore, they are not used to a woman's natural hair. This man's question is on point. If a man can learn to love your natural hair, we've all been programmed to prefer a certain texture or look that most of us don't have. And at first, that can be off putting for both parties. Doesn't mean the woman is unattractive to the man. This does have a direct correlation to social media, which is why it was mentioned. Because I don't actually participate in social media that much. And because of that, when I walk outside, I see more women with natural hair. No one needs to convince anyone to go natural. There's plenty that already are. He simply finds someone who likely wears wigs attractive, and he can't afford it. And that is obvious because when women talk about wanting a man and what expenses he has to pay in order to keep her, hair is always on that list, specifically for black women. Okay, this man's question is posed this way because his opinion is being shaped by what he sees on social media, and his responses to me enforce that. It's obvious, all right? Indicating that he is guilty of what I said. So, proof is right here in this conversation. It's not just experience but observation. I'm a researcher. Okay? I research, and this definitely isn't a recent, more official study, but if you looked into my channel, which I know that you have, you find there's very little I'm wrong about. So, have a good day.
Bye.
And they did not respond to that. Because I think black men need to be more supportive and understand, and maybe you didn't. But that's the whole point of programming. It's like, okay, here's the perfect metaphor for that. They say that if you sit a frog in a pot of cold water and you gradually turn up the heat, they will not jump. That is what happened to you. So this entire time, women have... Oh, you look so cute. This entire time, women have been altered. I just said I have been getting relaxers from the age of 4, right? So you were there at the age of 4, and you didn't actually realize that I was getting my hair relaxed. At the age of 9, you didn't really realize that I was getting my extensions. At the age of 15, you didn't really realize that I was getting extensions. Okay, so you were being programmed this entire time as I'm being altered, and you didn't recognize that. So when we're 25, when we're 30, 35, and you're like dealing with women that are, hey, you need to pay for my upkeep. You didn't realize that we've been doing this whole time. You think it's because we're trying to attract you. No. Most of us have been required to assimilate this entire time. And when we start asking you, okay, well, what do you bring to the table? Are you gonna take care? You want me to look like? You want me to keep this up? You want me to keep this up? You want me to do the thing? You gotta pay for it, and you don't want to do that. And so then you attack us for something that we've actually been doing this entire time. You know what I'm saying? So I would maybe consider that. We're not doing that for you. This is actually how we've been going about this whole time. Yep. All right, y'all have a good day.